Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Cinnamon Stitches. I am your yarn host Jennifer, and today is Monday, and on Monday we come on and we show our makes for the past 7 days, give or take a day or 5. Hopefully by the time you see this video I will be feeling better. I'm recording this video last Thursday, Wednesday, Thursday, I don't know what today is. I recorded it last week because we got things planned this weekend, and I have decided to not do any sort of work past banker's hours for my own sanity. So on the channel, like, I'm not answering emails, I'm not responding to anyone, I'm not recording or editing past certain hours, and that means the weekends. But also, hopefully everything went well this weekend and we actually had some family time. And yeah, we're just gonna pretend that that already happened and it was an amazing weekend, and we're gonna pretend, okay? Because it ain't happened yet. But I wanted to come on and share with you guys. And also, I should be feeling better by the time this video airs. I know I sound rough. I feel really bad. Like, I feel rough. But I wanted to get this video edited and out of the way so that I can pack and we can go away to the cabin and do the things as our family. And I just don't want to have any worries. Or I don't want in the background of my head, like, you need a Monday Makes video, you need a Monday Makes video, because we all know how obsessive I am with getting things done. I can't just let it go. Now, with that being said, I actually do have, like, a good box of things that I have made in the past 7 days, because I recorded last Monday Makes video on a Thursday. So it's either been, I think today's Wednesday. It's either been 6 or 7 days since the last video. So I do have, I filled up another bucket. Alright. A good majority of this is just knitting machine projects, because I very frequently will hyperfixate on just one thing, and I will go with that thing and I'll be like, alright, right now all I want to do is knit on the knitting machine. I have right here, I have the Addy King and I have the smaller Addy. I don't use the smaller Addy very often because I don't make small sized hats, and if I do I can still make them on the Addy King. And I don't generally use the knitting machine for like mittens or socks or anything like that. I'm sure that I could, I just don't. Okay, so with that, I also do have a crochet project I'm going to show you. Most of this is on the knitting machine. This hat, I don't remember what yarn this is. Now what I've been doing is I've been trying to use up either thrift store yarn, like creative reuse stores, stuff that I purchased that is donated to whatever kind of store it is, whether it be a thrift store or whether it be a creative reuse store, or it was something that was sent to me in Happy Mail. I've been using a lot of those yarns because I do keep those separate. Unless they're in a bag, then they go on this side of the room. But if they're sent from someone or they're a used situation, they go on that side of the room. Just in case there's creepy crawlies, because that has happened to me. We just keep it in a separate container over there, just because. You just don't know, okay? Now, with that being said, I very often tend to... I know what this was. I know what this yarn was. Do you guys remember when I went to the Scrappy Elephant last week and I got a yarn that was called Monique or something like that? That's what this is. So it's an old vintage yarn. It's very, very fuzzy. But I notice when I knit on the knitting machine with a fuzzy yarn specifically, the fuzz is all on the purl side. So very often I will leave the purl side out and it'll be a purl hat. Because when you knit, you can knit or you can purl. And the back side of a knit stitch is a purl stitch, and vice versa. And so this is the purl side of the hat because all of the fuzz was on that side and it was softer on that side. So this is Monique. And it's very, very fuzzy. It's very soft and squishy. It needs to be washed because it's kind of musty because it's from a thrift shop, but made a really nice, decent hat. I make hats all different sizes. When I'm on the knitting machine, I do not have a specific number. Very often, I will go and I will use a small ball of yarn, and I will go till the ball of yarn runs out, and then I just turn it into a hat from there. That is what happened with several of these hats that I'm going to show you. So this is just a regular old beanie. It's soft as fuzzy, but I'll show you. I made this hat. Now, this yarn, both of these yarns are from the Scrappy Elephant as well. This is a sparkly yarn. I think this was from the Scrappy Elephant. It's black and there's like purpley-ish sparkles running through it. And then there's white puffs on the yarn. It is a very unique yarn. And you are not seeing at all how sparkly it is. This yarn is rough. It is beautiful. And I know you cannot see how beautiful it is on this camera, and I apologize for that. It's really, really way more sparkly than what is showing on camera. Like the black and the purple is really sparkly. But it's rough. Like it's not meant to be against your skin. And if it is, like this would make a really nice fancy shawl. But it would be itchy to me. So, because of that, I was like, and it was a real small ball. And I was like, let's throw it in the knitting machine and see what happens, but we'll put a really soft yarn on the inside so that I can wear it. Or whoever wears it, because I don't know if I'm keeping this hat. Whoever can wear it and have the beautiful sparkles on the outside and the inside is like a cloud. This also is from the Scrappy Elephant. I think this yarn might possibly be Cumulus, which is a high-end yarn. And if it's not, it feels like it is. Cumulus, who is Cumulus made by? Where's my phone? Let's see. Let's see if my phone will tell me. Cumulus yarn. Juniper Moon. Cumulus yarn. And I know from experience because I've worked with Cumulus yarn, but that's what this white yarn reminds me of, is the Cumulus. And because it was unmarked and it was just in a ball, I have no idea, but this yarn is like delicious against your skin. And it's just, and I only had a small ball of each. So I put the soft luscious on the inside and the really pretty sparkly but really, really itchy rough on the outside. And I went until it was about big enough to fit my head, but then I had some left over. I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna make another hat. Well, I only had enough to make a child size hat, so this would probably fit one of my nieces. So it would be a cute matching set. But it's child size. It's like it would probably fit someone with a really small head. Like it probably would fit someone with a small head or a child. So really, really pretty. And I just went until I ran out of yarn. So that's where the children hats come from, is I had just enough to make a child's hat. So I made those. I'll show you that in a minute. I'm just going to pull everything out that I made. Let's see. I think that's it. This beautiful burgundy soft squishy yarn, don't know what it is. I had just enough to make a child size hat. And this is both made on the Addie King. So it's 42 stitches around, or 44, whatever the number is. But I don't know why the length makes the width look so much bigger. I don't know how the magic of that works, but I mean, it will stretch out for a larger head, but it's much shorter for a petite bébé. So, and it's really pretty. It's really soft and squishy. I don't know what yarn this is. It looks and feels familiar to me. So it could be a great mini deal of yarn, but it's a nice yarn. And then this is Bernat I know I have some of this left over because I didn't use the whole ball. What did I do with it though? It's not in here. This is Bernat. This again was a thrift store find. It was Bernat Baby Prince, I believe. And when you throw it in the knitting machine, you get this fun. And both sides of the hat are slightly different, but isn't this cute? It's cute. And I just went until it was just about big enough to fit my head. I don't generally make the hats real long to give them a fold-up brim because a lot of these hats are double layered. So for me, that's just a lot of bulk around my ears, and I don't like that. So I just make them so they just cover the ear. So there's that. Super cute. Super cute. And then this one, again, this was a scrap ball that I got from the Scrappy Elephant. And pretty much, I used almost all the yarn from the Scrappy Elephant with the exception of 4 of the was it Galloway wool? What was it called? Galloway? You guys know. Those 2 balls, and then there was 2 other full balls that were in there. I've used all of the yarn from Scrappy Elephant and turned them into hats and or scarves. So all of it's gone. This yarn, I recognize it. I've had this yarn in my stash. I cannot for the life of me remember what yarn this is. This was all one ball. If you recognize this yarn, can you please tell me, because I have no idea. Was this the same ball? This might have been 2 different balls. I don't remember. But either way, you have a nice, good looking hat, right? This side specifically is familiar to me. I feel like it's Lion Brand. But I have no idea. Does this look familiar to you? Please help me, because it's killing me that I don't know what this yarn is. Because I love it. It's beautiful. And then now that I'm thinking about it, this might be a different yarn. I don't know. I don't know what this yarn is either. But it's reversible. This one doesn't fit me as well. This is probably child size or smaller, normal size. I have a big head. So, beautiful, beautiful hat. Made that. Okay, then... Oh, I made a super slouchy hat. Because I didn't have quite enough to double it and make like a hat that fit my head. So I just went slouchy. I was like, we're just going to have... And I had blue that matches this color. This is universal... What is it? I don't know why I got rid of the label. This again, one of these was a scrap from my bin, and one of them was a scrap ball from Scrappy Elephant. And I don't remember which is which. Alright, but I had blue, just enough to add a crochet brim onto this. Now, this hat was just for entertainment purposes for myself, okay? So, I made... Hang on, hold up. Alright, so I made a slouchy hat, right? It's just slouchy. It's meant to be slouchy. If you got a lot of hair, you could tuck it in, it'll be fine. Or if you just like wearing slouchy hats, that's your aesthetic, like, cool. But I made it, I was like, this is a cute slouchy hat. And then Mr. Cinnamon was like, that kind of looks cute on you. And I was like, well, I mean, if Mr. Cinnamon thinks it looks cute on me, I might have to wear it. And then I was like, but look, like the best part, now I'm an elf. So I was just playing with it. But it's really pretty colors. If you have like big braids or like a lot of hair, this is really good for somebody that has a lot of braids or a lot of hair that you just want to tuck in, you know. And I know because when my hair is long, I have a lot of hair and I could just tuck it in there and it will be just in there. But also you could just wear it kind of slouch style. And I know a lot of dudes that wear their hats like this. I mean, if you're going to slouch your pants, you might as well slouch your hat, right? But I still think it's cute and it's fun. And it's got really beautiful colors. I can't remember what this yarn is called. It's Universal Yarns. I don't think they make it anymore. I had a bunch of it. It's wool. It's a wool blend. But it's a really nice yarn. And then I had, like I said, I had one in stash as well. I think this, I don't remember. One of them was from stash and one of them was from Scrappy Elephant. One of them was called Harvest and one of them was called something else. So I just made, I went until this ran out and I made this really beautiful cowl or infinity scarf that you can barely see next to my black shirt. Isn't this pretty colors? That's the seam. I have to work on my seams. They're not terrible. I've actually gotten a lot better on the seam part because the seams used to be really, really bad, but yeah, we got some real pretty colors happening. We got a whole aesthetic there. I'm like a hipster or whatever you want to call me. Juju called me an elder emo the other day, and I'm like, I don't even know what an elder emo is, but like, whatever. I guess I'm an elder emo. So, made those. Made all of these. And then, this one was yarn from Mary Maxim, and once again, it was a really fuzzy, fluffy yarn. It's Mary Maxim Super Soft or something. It discontinued. I ordered some because it went on a really good sale for Mary Maxim, and like the next day it discontinued and there was none left. And I had gotten it and I'd shown you guys and I was like, oh, look at this, it was really fluffy. Like the strand was hairy, okay? It was like, look at this really cool yarn. It was like brushed acrylic, but like they brushed it, okay? Like it was brushed. And I went to show you guys. I was like, oh, it's not on their website anymore. It's like all the way gone. So it was like a very limited time thing. Or I just caught it when they discontinued it. I had 2 balls of this yarn. And as you can see, I stuffed it with stuff. I actually believe I made 2 hats. This is all the same colorway. And it's 2 balls worth of this super soft yarn. Okay. Hat 1, hat 2. They are different sizes because I ran out. I made a hat. Then I made a scarf. And then I had enough left over to make it a smaller hat. The colors are blue jean shades and pink. So, big giant hat. I've been talking too much today. Getting real dry. The hat number 2. Same colorway. And then I made a scarf. This yarn is really plush. Not like fuzzy like blanket yarn plush. It's got like, this is a double layer hat, but look how thick it is. It's got a squish to it, like really like a squish. And it's really, like it's coated in fuzz. It looks much smoother worked up. It was very hairy in the ball. But when I made the first hat, I was like, I like the way that feels like, and I had some left over. Maybe I made this hat second. And then I was like, do I have another ball to continue to work with this yarn? And I had another ball of same color. And I was like, I'm making a scarf because this yarn is so squishy and soft and like plump. And it will make a really, this is way too warm for me. So this is going to be a donate issue. This whole set's going to get donated. A lot of these are going to get donated. I make hats for donation purposes. I don't sell them. I have no intention of selling them. On occasion, I will send one to someone. Somebody's dreaming. Cutest dog in the entire world. I'm just gonna say that. So, this is just it's too heavy, too thick, too warm for me for where I live in my climate. But it's beautiful. I don't know why it looks uneven, because it's really hard to make uneven stitches when you're just cranking. And the only thing I can figure is it's uneven because the yarn was thicker and thinner and thicker and thinner just from the amount of fluff that was on that section. So I think that's why the edges are a little rough. But it's a scarf, and I know that if you stretch it out, it will eventually not be as lumpy bumpy. And I think this will make somebody really warm and feel beautiful, and that's really all that matters, right? And this yarn is really, really soft and squishy, and just like, it's so nice. And I believe I have 2 more balls of this, because like I said, I ordered 4, and I ordered 2 in this color and 2 in another color, and I think they're in my laundry basket down here. Because I have a laundry basket that I bought at the dollar store that I bought with the purpose of just filling with yarn for projects. So that is all that I did on the knitting machine this week. But I did do a full crochet project. I've actually started a second one, and I will show you both. I don't generally show works in progress or whips. I show you what I've completed on Monday Makes. But I wanted to talk about this because I love it. And I really like the way this yarn turned out. And because the gradients are so new on the market right now, and everybody is like snatching them up and selling them out on Premier Yarns, I wanted to show you guys what I'm doing and how it's turning out and what I had to do, okay? So if you watched last week's video, I don't remember what day it was, but last week I did just kind of like a, hey, let's talk while I crochet video. And I was working on this. This is the Mandala gradient from Lion Brand, but Premier Yarns also released a gradient, and I prefer the feel of the gradient from Premier Yarns, but they are sold out right now. So I'm working with the Lion Brand because I heard about the Lion Brand first, so I bought a bunch. And then I heard about the Premier Yarns, and then I felt it, and I was like, ooh, that's better quality. The Lion Brand gradient is not bad. It's not particularly soft, but it's a good blanket yarn. I mean, it's just a basic acrylic. The gradient part of it is beautiful. So what I did is I took the yellow gradient and the blue gradient, and I merged them together. I did 2 rows blue, 2 rows yellow, 2 rows blue, 2 rows yellow, 2 rows blue, 2 rows yellow, etc. But what I did is I started from the center or the lighter part of the blue, and I started from the outside and the darker part of the yellow, so that the light and the dark fade to the dark and the light, so that there's not a heavy dark presence. Like if you did both light to dark, one side of the blanket is going to be mostly dark and the other side is going to be mostly light, and it will feel unbalanced. And so what I wanted was to have light and dark on both ends of the blanket so that it's not reversible. So it's reversible. So there's not a top and a bottom, you know. So I started with the lightest shade of the blue in the center of the ball. I will show you because I have different colors. I'll show you what I'm doing. So the purple and the pink, and I need a battery. Alright, the next one I'm working on is pink and purple. So what I did is I went center pull, outer pull, so that one side of the blanket is light and dark and the other side of the blanket is light and dark. Okay, I hope you're following. So lighter part of the yellow, or the lighter part of the blue with the darkest part of the yellow, and we worked 2 rows blue, 2 rows yellow, 2 rows blue, and we went that way until it was medium yellow, medium blue meets lighter yellow, darker blue. This is what it turned out like. I think this is gorgeous, but but I only had 1 cake of yellow and 1 cake of blue, and it was not enough to make even a dog-sized blanket. So what I did is I came in here and I found another yarn that was as close to the blue as I could get. And this is the yarn from Joann's. What did I do with it? It's in here. The Big Twist Rave in the color Icy Blue. I have a whole half a cake left. And what I did is I just added, because this is also a gradient style, but it's a repeating gradient. So whereas this goes light to dark, the Rave goes light, dark, light, dark. Let me show you a full, I have it in another color. This is another example of the Rave. So see how it goes light to dark and then repeats light to dark. The blue did the same thing. So I knew it would give me the gradient look. It was really similar to color in the blue. Like the blue matched up really well. So I just added blue to either ends from the Rave yarn. And I think it turned out quite beautiful. I haven't measured this. So it is on the shortest side, (36 inches), and on the longer side it is 40 inches. So it's an unusual size, but it's going to go in the baby blanket stash that I have. I think the way that the gradient worked out is beautiful. This stitch pattern is the stitch that I used from the Funshine bag tutorial, and I may or may not come out with a tutorial for this. It's easy, but I'm having to play with it to get the numbers just right. So it is technically a multiple of 6. But on the end of the starting row, I had to add 9, I think. Because the way I have to do, like, up and start the next row. So I'm still working on the math of that. But if you can figure out, it's technically a multiple of 6. I just have to add extra stitches so that the border goes straight up, which is what I'm working on. But this is a beautiful, beautiful use of the gradient yarns together, and I really am happy with the way that turned out. So because I loved that so much, I wanted to start another one. But I knew an appropriate size for that blanket, I would need 4 cakes, okay? And I only had 3 of the mandala cakes left, and I only have 2 cakes from Premier Yarns until they restock. So I'm sitting here, I have these 2 colors, which I always intended to go in a blanket together. This is light pink and hot pink. I always intended these to go into a blanket together and to fade towards each other. But this is too close in color to create that kind of thing. So the other color I had was purple. And I'm like, okay, the purple would be beautiful with these 2 colorways as a pink, purple, fading. But the problem is I had 3, and I knew that I needed 4 to make a proper size baby blanket and to do it. Because what I want is I want to use the pinks as if they're one colorway. So light to medium, which is kind of close to the medium here, to the darkest. So I'm using this as one gradient. Okay, so these are going to count as one gradient together. And then I had to go to Joann's and place an order so that I had 2 purples. And what I'm doing with the purples is the dark of the purples will be on the ends. So I know that technically is not gonna be exactly like that, where it goes darker, dark blue, dark yellow, fading towards the middle. It's gonna be dark pink and dark purple on this side, and dark purple and light pink on this side. So it's going to be dark and dark on this side and then dark and light on this side. I could alter it. I think it's still going to be beautiful. I think it's going to be less balanced, but I think it will work out. So I started with the outer part of the purple, which is really, really dark purple, and the lightest part of the pink, which is almost white next to the dark purple. This is what I have so far. This is definitely bigger than that one, so we'll see what happens. And I know it looks purple on white and it's purple on pink, but it's really hard to see the pink with your naked. Actually, this is the bottom. It goes this way. You can kind of see it's almost white here. It is just starting to look pink this way because this purple is lightening up. So to the naked eye, this looks white. And then it slowly is fading to a darker pink and a lighter purple. The purple's real easy to see that it's in a different color. Like it's almost black here. And then it goes a little bit lighter, a little bit lighter, a little bit lighter. This is more like a grape. And then the pink you can see here and here are starting to turn more blush, but down here is almost white next to that purple. So we're about halfway through with both of these cakes. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, I don't know what to do. And I tried to replace this with another purple cake from Lion Brand. I was like, maybe I will just do this purple and then I will do an ombre purple cake, right? Same idea. I did one row where I started the purple and I was like, ooh, I don't like that. And I look at Juju, who is my expert, who usually tells me the truth whether I want to hear it or not. I was like, what do you think of this? She goes, I don't like that at all. That does not look nice together. And it was the light pink with the mandala purple. And I was like, it doesn't, does it? Like, it makes the ombre, this is a gradient. It makes the ombre look ratty. It just looked bad. And I was like, I just ripped it. As soon as she said that, I started ripping it out. I'm like, yeah, we got to do something. And I'm like, what am I going to do? Because I only have 3 cakes. Like, how can I make this work? I did not want to buy yarn. I did not want to buy yarn. And I was like, it's 1 cake. Just buy the yarn. See if you can order it. And I've been having a real problem with Joann's app. Mr. Cinnamon said he's having a problem with their app too, and that I need to refresh it, delete cookies, delete this, delete that, delete the app, reinstall the app, because the app keeps telling me there's 4 of these in stock at my local store, but when I put them in the cart, it says there's a problem with your cart. We can't fulfill your order. It says there's 4 in stock. I just want 1. What's the problem? So I went to the website and joanns.com and they fulfilled the order in 5 minutes. And I'm like, I don't know what is going on with the Joann's app, but it's irritating. And another problem I've been having with my local Joann's specifically is they very frequently, instead of going and looking for the yarn, they cancel my order. And I've gone in after they've canceled my order and found the yarn, or they are taking 6 weeks to unload a truck at my local Joann. So I'm like, are you guys trying to get your own business shut down? Because that's exactly what's going to happen. If you continue these bad practices at my local store specifically, you're not going to have a store. And then I'm going to be upset because now I got to drive out to Culpeper, which is a better store anyway. Culpeper, okay, so my Joann's is in Fredericksburg, Virginia. The one in Culpeper is a really small store, whereas the one in Fredericksburg is like a big one, right? It's a big It's not a real nice one. It's huge compared to the one in Culpeper. Culpeper reminds me of an old Woolworth. Like, it's real small and petite and cozy. And they don't have a whole lot, but what they have is good, right? I really like driving out the distance to go to that one. I fear that one's not going to be in business because that store's always empty. I've actually been recognized in that store, which is kind of cool. But the Joann's here in Fredericksburg, like, it's so hit or miss. It depends on who's working, whether they're going to actually do their job, whether they're going to have an attitude problem, whether they, you know, it's just like some days you will get somebody who's so sweet and they want to help you, they want to do their job. And I know the manager over there, like, she's cool. Some of her employees, though, I don't like playing with them people. They're just rude. It's on the truck. The truck came 3 weeks ago. Why have you not unloaded a truck? It's been there 3 weeks. I don't understand how that's okay with corporate. Make that make sense. And I know some of you are going to say, I work at Joann's and there's only 3 people working at a time. I understand that. Hire me. I will come work the night shifts. I will unload that truck in at night. I promise you I will. And I will put everything where it belongs. I will mark it. And then I will go shopping at the end of my shift. I will do it. Try me. Where's my crochet hook at? I'm just using a 5.5 millimeter hook. Isn't that pretty? It's purtiful. This is from Merit. This is a Merit hook available on Amazon. It's linked in my Amazon shop if you're interested. My Amazon shop is listed below. I just put a bunch of my favorite things in there that people ask about most frequently. If you click the link to my Amazon shop, it just sends you to the... Here's my Merit hooks that are my favorite. Here are... what else is in there? The Omi hooks. These are my favorite hooks. Here's like just weird random stuff that I personally have purchased off Amazon that I like. But working on that. I will show that to you when it's finished. I'm actually really enjoying that, and I don't like making blankets. I gotta really be in the mood to crochet a blanket because I'm hot all the time, and even right now, like you can see, I'm getting, this is a blood pressure thing though, but I'm getting like really hot and steamy under the collar, and I'm starting to like flush up a little bit. I don't like being under a heavy blanket, especially in the middle of summer. Like it's in the 90s outside. Let's do a weather check. Weather check. Oh, my video finished uploading. Feels like 99 degrees outside currently. I have a fan. What am I doing? I'm gonna put this on as soon as we're done talking, because that really does help me. It's even cool to the touch. We'll put it on when I'm done recording because it's a little bit loud. Comments on my phone is funny. People are getting sensitive today. I told Mr. Cinnamon, I don't know what is going on in the universe, but people are getting crazy. Like, and I'm seeing it spread. And it kind of scares me a little bit because it almost feels like, you remember when like the pandemic was happening and people were just like snapping off because they were starting to lose their marbles because they were inside too much. I'm starting to see that happen right now, and I'm like, what is going on? Like, and this is me being funny. This is satire, okay? Don't take anything I'm saying seriously. Sometimes people without a sense of humor think I'm being serious all the time, and I'm not. So this is satire, okay? I feel like we've all been injected with like little microchips, satire, from the aliens or whoever, and someone has flipped a switch and we're all losing our marbles, okay? I feel like that's what's happening. I feel like it happened during the COVID thing, and like right now, everybody is acting bonkers. I am included in this. Like, what is happening? Are the poles shifting? Not the election poles, like, you know, South Pole, North Pole. Is like Mercury or something in retrograde? What is happening? Someone please tell me. Is the moon full? I don't know. Satire. What is happening? People are losing their minds. I don't get it. I feel like there is a big shift coming. Like, there is a disruption in the force. Can you feel it, or is it just me? Because I've been talking... Mr. Cinnamon sometimes looks at me like I have 4 heads because he thinks I'm crazy. Perhaps there's truth to that, but I say stuff like this to him and he looks at me cross-eyed like, what? I definitely feel like there's something happening in the universe. Like, I can feel there's something happening. Okay? But with that, try not to be crazy. Try not to do weird stuff, okay? I mean, be weird. I love people that are weird, but, like, don't go off the rails on the crazy train. Don't go biting heads off of bats. Like, none of, unless, like, bat is part of your diet. You want to turn into a vampire? See, I've been reading too many vampire books. I want to play with this so bad. I've opened it like 100 times today. I put a new piece of fluff in there because this fluff was on my desk. So I'm like, oh, we're going to tuck that in because it goes with that purple. But what I really want to do is I want to dump this out and I want to make roll eggs. Because, oh my god, color, right? The jar of inspiration. And then I was like, I am keeping this jar because I'm going to be real honest with you. A lot of times I'm done with a project and I have like little bits left over, right? And little bits. And what I will do is I will collect them in a bin over here because this stuff can be used for stuffing, like amigurumis. But you can also chop this up and make flecks in the fluff so that when you roll, when you roll your yarn, I'm not rolling it. You can tell I had pot smoker parents, okay? I'm not rolling it. When you spin your yarn, you can add bits of this into the fluff and you can make Tweety bits in your yarn. And then Sylvester will chase it, right? No. Clearly I've lost my marbles today. But also, like that little bit of purple was left over from a spin job. And I can throw, like when I'm done turning this into roll eggs to spin, I can refill this with other bits left over from other projects. So I'm going to keep the jar of inspiration even after I empty it for bits like that can go into another project, right? Brilliant. So I'm really excited. That actually has stayed on my desk because of that. I forgot I had wax melts on my desk. A lot of my wax melts are Christmas scented. And so I'm like, I don't want the house to smell like Christmas right now. I'm also stuffy, so I can barely smell. Ooh, that one's good. I was looking for non-Christmassy smells in my wax melts, and they're in here on my desk. So I need to take them out there. Because I have a wax melter in my bathroom. I have one in my kitchen. I have one in the living room, but it's unplugged. It's been unplugged because it gets too hot. I have a wax melter in here that I unplugged because I spilt it on my bag. And on her, Sarah, this one's Sarah. I finally named her, okay? Her name is Sarah. So we have Brunhilde, Winifred, and Sarah. Sarah! Sarah was very happy that I named her Sarah. But Sarah, Sarah messages me frequently, so I'm like, well, I might as well name her Sarah. I think that's it for today. I think that's all I have to talk about. Like I said, this past weekend we were supposed to go to a cabin. My plan for last weekend, for yesterday and the day before, my plan, because like I said, I'm recording this last week, is to read. I am bringing book 2 of the knitting series, and I have it on good authority that some of my family members have bought me other books in the series because I've been bragging so much about book 1. Like, I literally have been sitting there reading, right? And I will read a lot. Like, this is funny, okay? Florence thinks I'm a jealous old cow. Okay? That's funny to me. And I will read something like that and I will laugh. I don't know who Florence is, but I did that in the first book. I would read, and some of the jokes, like, only us would get because my family's not yarn. They're not yarn savants, okay? So I get the jokes and I laugh out loud, and they will look at me like, why is she laughing out loud at a book? And then I either tell them what I thought was funny or I say you wouldn't understand. But when I tell them what I thought was funny in the book, they just look at me like, oh. I have no idea why I'm actually laughing at balls of yarn floating in the air and a cat holding onto the merino. Like, they don't know why that's funny to them. To me, it's hilarious because I picture a little kitten holding onto a ball of merino that's flying through the air. I just think that's hilarious. Like, there's parts of the books that I think are funny. And, because I've talked so much out loud about the books, and I'm like, this book is funny, guess what just happened, and oh, this book is interesting, like, guess who the killer was, and you know, all that, I keep saying that. So because of that, my niece and my husband were kind of like, they both had the idea to buy me the books, and then I think my niece outsmarted my husband and ordered the books first because he got mad at her that she stole his idea, which happens at almost every holiday now. Like, Juju doesn't tell anybody what she's buying me or what she plans on buying me because my niece very often doesn't have a clue, and she steals the idea and buys it before anybody else has a chance to buy it. Mr. Cinnamon does the same thing, like, oh, that's a good idea, I'll get it for her. And then Juju's gotta wait till she gets her paycheck, you know? And poor Juju, she's like, I'm not telling them anything. As a matter of fact, Mr. Cinnamon was talking, he called me this morning. He's like, I had a really good idea for your birthday. I was like, okay, I don't know why he tells me every little detail, like, surprise me. I like to be surprised. I don't like to know. And so he's like, I had a really good idea for your birthday, and it was because Juju said something to me and it made me think of something else, so I called her, and even she thought it was a good idea, which usually she thinks his ideas are stupid because she knows me better than he does, I think. She listens when I talk. Okay, so I was like, you know, Juju's real fed up with your crap. And he goes, what? I said, yeah, Juju's real fed up with you and Hermione's crap. Hermione's my niece. My niece who I pretty much raised. And so he's all, why? I was like, because both of you keep going to her, I don't know what to buy mom. I don't know what to buy mom. What should I buy for mom? What are you buying for mom? And she's tired of A, you guys stealing her ideas, and B, coming to her when you guys could just listen to me yourself. And he's all, oh. Don't get me wrong. He's better than most husbands I've seen. He does listen. He pays attention to some of the things I say. But lately, he's been in his own world a lot, and probably just from his stress of his job and like whatever else. But he has no clue. Even though I have told him I really would like a nitty naughty for my birthday. I would love a nitty naughty. I would like a lazy Kate that stands up. He can make me one. Okay. I've told him these things, he don't listen. Now, Lazy Kate is just, okay, it would be so easy for him to make. He just needs to make a plank of wood with some metal thing sticking up so I could put the dowel on there. Because this one connects to my spinning wheel, but I would like one that sits on the table, right? He don't listen. He don't listen. I even told little man, I was like, have daddy make me one of these. I want one, right? Second I say it, they done forgot. I also wouldn't mind a couple more of these. Because, and these are spools. I have no idea where to buy these, how much they cost. But, I mean, we could figure it out if they would only ask me. But, because I have filled all three of them and then needed a fourth one, and then I had to go stop what I was doing and go put it on the umbrella stand and do the things to turn it into a hank when I just wanted to keep spinning. So it's like, I've told him, I've told you things that I want. You need to go write it down, and I even have a list on Amazon for them. They don't look at it. Juju does. Juju actually listens when I talk, though. But, you know, it's just me being silly. I have no doubt I'm going to have an amazing birthday. That's not at all what this is about. This is just me teasing. Alright. Ooh, my video's done. That means we can work on this video, and then I will be done. And then, yeah, today's Wednesday. I won't have to work Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. I can come back and record Tuesday's video on Monday. And by then, I will have yarn that I can show you. And probably tea. Because we got new tea the other day. So yeah, I think we're done for the weekend. I get a long weekend again. This is fantastic. I don't know. That's another thing, is like things are shifting. I actually have a little bit more time on my hands. Which is good because we're preparing for school to start. Which I also feel like I'm getting a lot of support in regards to the homeschool thing, because several of you have reached out. And I've had several of you say, hey, I want to send something for little man to make his homeschooling journey a little bit easier. I actually had a dream about that last night. I had a dream that I had a big package of stuff that his old school gave me to make his homeschool journey better. And it was like a pack of like stuff that teachers put on bulletin boards and stuff like that, which I have some of it under my desk. And I was so excited. And then in the dream, I remember thinking, they only gave me that because they don't want him to come back to school. And then I got angry at the school all over again. So I've also been having a lot of dreams about living in a different house and the process of moving into said new house. And so I think a lot of what is going on in my life right now is helping to prepare us for the next phase of life, because I don't talk about it every day, but like the idea of the next house with an independent area specific for my job, which is what we want, and like away from neighbors and away from the city. I crave it so bad that it's always in the background of my head. And even though I'm not talking about it, I'm not purposefully thinking about it, it's there and it's just nagging and nagging so much that I'm dreaming about it almost every night. And every single one of those dreams is me putting together my new office. And so I think that like God, the universe, whatever you want to call it, because I don't push my beliefs on anybody, but whatever it is, God or the universe or whatever you believe in, that is pushing me towards that in my life. Like I can feel that that's where I need to go. And that's part of the reason, like when I say what I've been saying a lot lately is like I'm broke. I'm not broke, okay? I am broke in the aspect of yarn purchases and other types of purchases are not a priority right now. And I do have some extra bills the past several months that I did not expect to come up, but I've also had some really huge blessings come up in my life the past couple months, and I just feel like everything is preparing us for the move and for the new step in our life. And even Mr. Cinnamon is kind of feeling a pull towards something different in his life. And I don't know. I'm scared. But I don't like change. And I hope everything works out. But at the same time, it's like I just want that so much. Like I can feel there's a huge pull towards that big change, you know? And, you know, I'm excited about it too. So I'm scared, but I'm excited about, you know, just the shift. We'll see what happens. By the way, some of the stickers I got in Happy Mail last week, I actually put on my laptop. So when I open my laptop, it says, "You are valuable because who you are, not what you managed to accomplish." And I said I needed to see that on a daily basis. It is on my laptop where like there's an empty space. And then on the other side, I put the sticker that says, "You deserve kindness today, most especially from yourself." So I'm going to leave you with those parting thoughts. And then there's one more I think I'm going to put on my laptop. You don't have to be on all the time. You're good to have around even when you're quiet. I think I'm going to put that one. Or, you don't have to be perfect to be lovable. That's a good one too. So these stickers came in Happy Mail last week, and I am making sure that they are there so I can see them every single day. So with that, I will let you go. I'm going to turn my fan on. And I might go fix myself some soup because I made homemade soup in the Instapot yesterday. And can I tell you, first of all, it was good. And it was so much more flavorful than when I make it on the stove. And even Mr. Cinnamon was like, "Why is this soup so flavorful?" I was like, "I don't know." I put it in the Instapot. It cooked really fast. I had soup from raw chicken to really flavorful soup in under an hour. Like, it just blew my mind, the Instapot. I've been using the heck out of it. So it has come in so handy in my life. Like, you have no idea. It's been such a blessing that we found that at the thrift store. But I have a big bowl in there in the fridge. I think I'm going to go heat some up. And homemade chicken soup always makes me feel better. My mom used to make it when we were little. And it just, it soothes it soothes my throat first of all, but it also soothes the soul, you know? So... Alright guys, I'm finally gonna shut up. I'm very, very talkative today if you haven't noticed. And I will see you hopefully tomorrow. Bye, guys.